tell you, it's been a while since I've done one of these game shows here, like one of those like live streaming of the NHL stuff. We did so much hockey coverage in the last little while.
Yeah.
I wasn't even showing our gameplay. I was just still showing my stupid face.
Oh.
It's happened to me before, dude. I just deal with it.
Yeah, there we go. It just popped up for me.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, I want to watch this. You're like, oh, anyone missing this game right now?
Hey, man, I'm all about overhyping and under-delivering. I've set the tone for the channel early, though. It's all part of it.
Well, stick to your strengths. That's why people subscribe. They don't want to watch hockey. They just want to hear you talk.
They want to know that I'm disappointing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they want to see the circus sideshow. So here it is. Who's on my team here? Go, go, go. Nice. Perfect angle.
Oh, that was such a nice breakout. For nothing. Oh my God, what happened?
Not for nothing.
That was the weirdest goal ever.
Yeah, well, I've had a lot of those go in on me lately, so I'm really not too, I don't feel too bad about it.
right before I hopped on with you, I was playing a couple just to get myself into it, and dude, I was having the worst puck luck. Like almost every goal that went in on me was like something like that, where it's like off a defender or, you know, like it goes up in the air and hits me in the back.
It's brutal stuff, man. Absolutely brutal. Oh, jeez. Come on. I shouldn't have put that much pressure on him. Oh, nice save. So who you been following in the NHL right now?
Well, so I'm a Penguins fan.
Right.
So, I mean, obviously I'm watching them, but dude, the Penguins we can just get right into this Pittsburgh segment of your show.
Okay.
The Penguins, dude, like I've pretty much, since that 2017 Cup, going into the next season, like seeing how they were starting to kind of decline in 2018, I pretty much just was like, oh, all right, they're done.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what you're seeing now, is just like obviously Crosby is still Crosby, but like you're kind of seeing Gino and Letang kind of slip off a little bit, especially Malkin. And that's kind of disheartening, but it's just the ebb and flow. Like I've been so spoiled with being able to see that team win back-to-back cups.
Oh, it must be tough being you, right?
Yeah, right. I mean, I feel so silly complaining to a Leafs fan right now about like, oh no, they didn't win a third cup in like 5 years.
What I appreciate is that you know that's not even really a joke. Like you're not trying to be a jerk about it. You actually mean that. I'm like, yes, well, exactly. Bro, you get it.
I'm a Buffalo Bills fan, and so people complaining about their team not winning, you know, their umpteenth Super Bowl. I'm sitting here watching my team just get shit canned the other night by Kansas City, and I'm like, dude, you don't get to complain if you've already watched at least one championship game be won. Like, you just don't understand what it's like. But it's like Leafs fans are the same way. Like, you guys, pretty much since as long as the Bills have been losing, the Leafs have been losing. What matters. Yep. And it's the same kind of team too, because they're great all regular season, and they give you all the hope in the world. And like right now the Leafs are, you said 7-3,
7-2. I think I finally got that right. I keep messing up the record.
Yeah, 7-2. So like I think the Bills were, when they finished out their season, they only had 3 losses, so whatever the math is on that. Yeah. That 13-3 or something like that. Right. So all season long, you're thinking like, oh my gosh, this is the year. This is the year they're going to do it, and they get all the way to the conference finals or the semis or whatever. Right. And just don't play football, and you're like, oh, this is what it's like being a Maple Leafs fan.
Yep. That's 100% what it's like. And like, it's frustrating, but at the same time, like, I don't know, it kind of becomes like a running joke amongst the fans even. Like, there's so many of us that have no problem laughing at the fact that the Leafs haven't won since 1967. You know what I mean? Like, if you're a new Leafs fan today, I'm like, are you crazy? Like, you got to be kind of crazy, and you're welcome if you are crazy. But no sane person would be like, oh, I'm new to the NHL. I'll choose the Leafs, right?
Yeah, right. I have a pick of 31 teams, almost 32 now. It's like I'll go with the team that just constantly kicks you in the nuts every year.
Well, even then, almost every team in the league, or at least more than half, isn't it? I don't know. It's a lot of teams have at least won a cup since the Leafs haven't won.
Yes, yeah.
You know?
I would say definitely more than half for sure.
Even Montreal still won one in my lifetime. You know?
Yeah,
so like,
right, yeah.
They all get to hang that over my head, except for the ones that haven't won any. And then I'm like, haha.
Yeah. Well, I will give them this. Like, I like the Leafs. I don't not like the Leafs because they're a very exciting team to watch. They're literally the Buffalo Bills of the NHL. They're a really exciting team. They've been pretty good on the upswing for the last couple of years.
Yep.
They're young. They show promise. It's just every time they play a game that matters, they can't seem to just win the game.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, you know what? I think up here in Toronto, I don't know what it's like down near the New York State region and all the local teams, all of them, but like Toronto teams almost have a curse amongst all of them. Where even when they're doing well, it's because they put their heart and soul into every single game. And I know that sounds like, oh, that's what you want. No. You want to be a team like Boston the past few years and stuff, where it's like they go through sprints where like they're not even playing well, but they're still winning.
No. Yeah, for sure. You definitely have a point with that because it's like if you're busting ass every game and acting like every game is game 7, then by the time you get to your game 7 that matters, you're burnt out.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good way to look at it. I never really thought of it that way with them, but that's totally true.
Why do you always see teams that are like almost like near the stretch, especially near the end there, it's kind of like, oh, they don't seem to be able to win. They're going to be in bad shape for the playoffs. And then they get out there and they dominate the first round. And you're like, why? Well, it's because they kind of phoned it in on purpose.
Right, yeah. Well, they rested themselves enough to get,
They won by just enough to make sure that they could get there. But they weren't trying to break records.
Yeah, exactly. And what happened to the team that did break records? Tampa Bay got absolutely shut out by Columbus that one year.
That's right.
It's like it kind of just goes to show, don't be the best, but definitely don't be, you got to still get there.
Yeah, and there is still a sense of competition. Obviously, if by sheer chance in the last 10 games you have a chance to break an NHL record of some kind as a team, you kind of owe it to yourselves to try and break that record. But it's not a priority. Like throughout the season, you're not thinking, this year we have to break the home wins record. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to do that. Just play, get through your nights, make sure people aren't getting hurt. Play to win. You don't want to lose, but you also don't want to sit there and like be busting your balls every single game. It's just going to wear you out. You're going to get broken.
Especially this season too, because this season is so much, so many games back to back.
Yeah, exactly.
This season that was my biggest worry with teams going into this shortened season was like, oh man, like you guys are playing like baseball schedules now.
Yeah.
And you don't have, it's not like you can sit a goalie for like 7 straight games and play a different goalie. It's not like pitchers, you know what I mean? Like, you have to, it's crazy now because it's almost like you have to have like 2 starting goalies. And you have to make sure every line has some sort of competent playmaking on it.
You're nailing it. Yeah, exactly. Like it's like your backup goalie doesn't have to be good enough to play as many games as your starter, because that's a different animal right there, Like it's one thing to be good in the net for a game. It's another thing to be good in the net for the next 5 games.
Yeah,
right? So you do need a guy that is just as good as your starter for a game or two. Every so often. The headstands, jeez. You ever see that guy actually in the highlight reel attempt that there?
No, like in real life?
Oh yeah, there's somebody that like slid on their head after scoring a goal.
That had to be in Russia.
No, you know what? I don't know where it was. I think it was North America though. I would bet money on it.
That is crazy, because that's definitely like if you told me that was like a KHL thing, I would be like, oh yeah, absolutely, of course.
Yeah. I got no sticks. So I'm just trying to like get in this guy's way.
Yeah, I saw that. I think you're. Oh, there you go. I was gonna say, I think your stick dropped up on the top left there. But
yeah, I rushed in for the hit anyways because I thought if I smoke this guy, I don't need a stick. But I'm very rarely rewarded for that mentality in this game. You know, I should be playing way more defensively.
Every time I think I have a perfect hit lined up, I always just wind up like screwing my team over.
Yeah. There's one little move. It's almost like it's harder to hit in this game than it would be for an NHLer in real life.
Right.
Because, like, I get that they want me, some people to be able to hit harder than others. I think that's a good stat to have. But every player in the league should be able to hit like hard enough to knock a guy down if the timing is right. Because they don't realize it's not about strength. Like, how about that Pettersson hit?
Yeah.
Right? I don't know if you saw that, but he was in the corner himself. Someone charged in and tried to smoke him. And he just stood his ground. Perfect balance. And he's not a very thick guy. And he just smoked the dude. Shoulder to shoulder. Beautiful.
Well, that's the thing is it's usually, I mean, you know, you obviously have to have some level of strength to knock anyone down. But it's all about balance and it's all about, you know, the angle of the hit and all that stuff.
Angle of the hit, transfer of weight, center of gravity. Like, so much physics. But it's true.
Yeah, right. This is the physics portion of your stream.
Yeah. But you know what? Like, I'm trying to learn, man. I'm trying to learn. But totally. So that's why it's like in this game, I don't care if I'm Mitch Marner. I should be able to smoke somebody if I've got them lined up perfectly. The reason why guys like Mitch Marner don't do that in the NHL, it's not because he can't. It's because there's an unspoken, like, bond or, like, oath amongst them that it's like, if I'm Mitch Marner, I can't hit your guys because then your guys get to hit me or Austin Matthews.
Right.
As soon as a star player starts throwing their weight around, they become a target because it's like it's not fair that you get to throw hits and we have to back off you. A guy like Austin Matthews. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, that goes back to like the days of Gretzky, where it was like, you know, like if you even breathe on Gretzky, you're dead.
Yeah, pretty much.
In return, you don't have to worry about Wayne Gretzky trying to like lay the body on you, you know.
Right. Exactly. He makes an oath to the other guys, almost like an unspoken bond of like, I'm not going to try and hit you guys if you don't hit me.
Right.
Now, playoffs is always a little bit different. That gets you know, a little borderline sometimes. But again, oh geez, I thought I was way ahead of him. I don't know how I hit him in the feet. Oh, penalty shot. Sorry, my bad.
We're playing threes, so every penalty is just a penalty shot.
Yeah,
he's gonna wait for me to make a move here.
Oh, nice save! Clip that, chat. Isn't that what they say? Clip that, chat. Huge.
That's one of those ones because he's coming. That I hate penalty shots and threes because, well, just in this game in general, because people do that. They'll come in so slow on me.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, it's like soccer. You just kind of have to commit to one side of the net.
Correct.
And hope to God that they throw it on that side.
Yep.
And then if you guess right, you look awesome. And if you guess wrong, everyone lights you up.
Exactly. I feel so bad for soccer goalies for that exact reason, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm like, I don't know how they do it.
If you play in places like Brazil, you are murdered after the game. So.
Oh, I shouldn't laugh, but that's how I deal with the darkness, you know? Like, it's no disrespect. That's how I deal with it. Silly was saying in the chat that the head standing on the goal thing was a dude in England.
Yeah, I just actually read that too. That's pretty nuts. I mean, that's such a European thing. It has to be. I feel like if you try to pull that in like Canada or America, you're just gonna be like you're gonna get hit at the blue line.
Someone will want to rough you up for sure. Yeah. Well, I don't know. You know what though? Like honestly, North American sports is getting a lot more disrespectful. And like
that is very true.
Nobody seems to care. They all think it's fun. Even the guys like getting insulted, like they don't seem to want to fight after that. And I'm like, do you know how many guys would have got knocked out for half the stuff you guys do today?
You ever see one of my favorites was there's a video of good game.
GG's in the chat, folks. We tried our best. Huh?
Video of Terrell Owens back in the early 2000s scored a touchdown against Dallas in Dallas, and he runs over to their star in the middle of the field and just gets trucked. And it's like, man, that just does not happen today.
Do you remember the follow up to that? Thanks, AKZ. GG's. Do you remember the follow up to that though when he did that?
Yeah, so he does it. He does it twice, right?
Yeah, I think it was twice. No, it was once, and then Dallas responded. They had Emmitt Smith. He ran in there and did the same thing to like claim it back. He was like, "No, this is ours. Yeah. Like I scored. This is my field." And it was when Terrell Owens did it again. They smoked him. Just
yeah. That's one of my favorite videos. But I mean, like, when people were complaining, I keep bringing up football because it's kind of just, it's the American sport.
Yeah, dude, you're American. I'm sorry, but like, that's where your home is, and I totally get it. Like, I relate everything to hockey, so it's all good.
When they were talking about Juju Smith-Schuster this past year doing his TikTok dances on the other team's logo and everything like that, and then he got kind of targeted in a game and he took a huge hit, and everybody's kind of complaining, like, you know, you can't headhunt just because he's doing TikToks, and it's like, man, if this was like 10 years ago, that guy would be dead.
Yeah, exactly. They don't get it, man. But that's just one of those things. It's like, look, it's not my age group anymore, right? So if they want to behave like that, and they're agreeing that like they'll put up with it even if they get punked. I mean, let's face it, basketball and even like even the NFL, after stuff like, it wasn't shortly after that hit at center field that, like, you know, the taunts in the end zone just got more and more like staged and rehearsed, and you know, so it's been going on for a while. Baldahea knows, he's in the chat. What's up, Baldahea? But yeah, I mean, they've kind of they're slowly starting. Hockey was like the last one that they were like, no, dude, you can't do that stuff here. Remember when Ovi tried to like celebrate his 50th goal?
What? When who did?
Ovi, he did the burning stick in the corner celebration one year when he scored 50 in a season.
I do remember this now. Yep.
Yeah, man. Like even his own teammates walked away from him. They're like, "No, dude, like we can't." He was calling them over. Remember, he was like waving to them, like, "Oh, come on, boys! Like it's hot. It's not even me. It's the stick. It's the stick." They're like, "No, dude, we gotta go. Like we can't be seen doing that."
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's like they're little kids, like afraid of like what the parents in the neighborhood are gonna say. Like, hey man, we can't be associated. With you
no, dude, you're the wild kid. Like I got curfew. I gotta be home, bro. I don't know what you're doing. I gotta go. Like, no, exactly. And then like you know, now you got Matthews doing like Patrick Kane celebration back at him, and then Kane does it again, like in response that one game, like. It's just become part of it almost, and it's like, if they want to do it, it's their game. Let them do it. But I hate it personally.
Yeah, well, so it's been kind of a thing that I'm like trying to be more open-minded about, like, because I you know, again, I'm 26. I don't want to sound like the cranky old man, like, get off my lawn.
Yeah. You know, because I'm about there. You know,
it's like, yeah, well, right, but it's like, I don't know. I miss the days where professional hockey players and professional football players and professional basketball players, whatever.
Yeah.
Professional athletes would act like professional athletes, and it's like, why do we have to like? Why is everybody a TikTok star now?
Yeah.
And why is everybody, you know? I don't know. But I can see the adverse of it is like, let them have fun. You know, if they're not hurting anyone, then what's
as long as both sides are okay with it. Yeah. I mean.
Right. Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Tell them no? It's their game. They're the professionals. If they want to act like that, like they, what do I say? It's disrespectful. Well, they do it, so.
Yeah. It's like I'm the one sitting on my couch watching it, and they're the ones actually living it. So.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it is what it is. But I always just felt that like it was cool when they were respectful to each other, because it was like they're acknowledging the fact that there is no game without both sides. There's something like almost like really beautiful about that, you know, in a really corny kind of way. It's like, that's why the shaking hands at the end of a playoff series is awesome, right? Like,
right, yeah. It's the poeticness of sports.
Yeah, like there's something to it that just made it so like it was almost honorable, like battle or war, you know, without the violence of people actually dying.
Yeah, right.
So I liked that attitude about it. Oh, here we go. Should I try that whole the thing 08 always says to do? This? Oh, what? I can't do that?
You actually know how to do it? That was more impressive than you scoring. The fact that you actually like pulled the move.
I kind of didn't. That's why the ref blew the whistle. If it had gone right, if it had gone right, like they would have gone top cheese or something like that.
I'll give you the benefit of the initial move.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do any of that stuff. So.
You know what? When you're playing a manual goalie, though, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes just seeing a move go down like that, they go flying out of the net. I know I do.
Yeah.
Like, all this stuff, I mean, you're getting beaten actual shots and stuff, right? Like, I would be embarrassed if I was in net right now. I'd be sliding over to, like, the bench in one shot, you know? Like, I overcompensate huge in that thing.
Well, that's the thing is, oh man,
couldn't catch up to them. It was too fast.
There's nothing you can do about that one.
Right off the face-off, he had me.
That's the thing I'm still kind of trying to work on is just my overcompensation. But it's so tough in this game because it's not real life. You kind of have to overcompensate to make saves.
Yeah, exactly. It's so like they've made it look so realistic that when it doesn't behave realistic,
how?
I don't even know how that happened. That was an amazing deke. I thought he had him beat. Nice save, bro. Oh, that was huge. A 1T save.
That's what I mean. Like if I don't make save, if I like overcompensate by like half an inch, that's a goal, and everyone's mad at me.
Yeah, yeah. No, you need a fine touch for sure, and I think you got it compared to me. Oh, again! You just knew where he was going to end up there. I like that.
A lot of the time, you can read what people are going to do here.
Yeah,
dude, I don't know how this guy is not putting these in. This computer goalie is better than every computer goalie I've ever seen.
No, I want to crack at him. I want a real crack at him. Just need these guys to like recognize here. They can probably hear me. No, we're in the private chat. Good, they can't hear me. I always feel like I'm bad-mouthing people. I don't mean it like that, but what can I do?
You don't have to apologize. It's just me and you. We can talk smack.
I know, but I always worry that, like, what if somebody saw this later on? They just happen to come across the thing. Like, hey, that's my handle. Hey, what's he saying about me? And I'm like, no, I'm just venting because you can't hear me. That's why.
They just start spamming your Twitch chat. Like,
yeah, yo, that's me, you punk. I'll wreck you. And I'm like, no, like... I was just talking, man.
This guy, I swear.
yeah. Follow along for a little bit. I promise you. You'll see.
Right.
So Baldahay was wanting to know who you are. It's Alex Packard, bro. I'm Alex Packard.
Yeah. I'm Alex Packard.
From Christmas time, around the New York State region. That was a good Christmas episode, man. I was glad you were there for that.
Yeah, I mean, that was just crazy odds that you just so happened to be streaming and jumped into the stream where the only person with a mic that's not a jerk is talking.
Yeah. Oh my god, it was Christmas Miracle, man. Yeah. I was like, oh, I'm going to get into a fight, aren't I? Because I'm going to suck, and then like they're going to get mad at me, but I'm funnier than them, so then I'm going to respond, and then they're going to be really mad because I made fun of them better.
Right,
you know?
Well... either way, you were going to get a great content piece out of that one.
Yeah, exactly. I felt it was a win-win no matter what, so might as well shoot your shot, right?
Yeah, right.
Oh, up here.
It was crazy. I remember, oh, dude, if this is not a goal.
What are you doing? Oh, come on. I was already spinning. I couldn't stop.
I'm going bananas over here right now.
Don't worry, computer's got it. Oh.
It's like every bounce that could possibly happen.
I know. I just want to clear a shot, man. I know I can do it. I got the motivating music going for me. You know?
What do you got going right now?
I don't know. Some weird independent beats, royalty-free stuff I found on...
oh, that's true. So with Twitch streaming, do you have to pay to clear music?
So, yeah. So, like, I have a membership to a service... that has so huge of a library when it comes to like music with vocals, music without vocals, all sorts of different genres, and then more importantly to me as well, a huge sound effect bank. Huge.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I can find almost anything I've ever needed for any video, and the thing is, you pay the one membership, which is like I think it's only like $12-15 a month, and then you get use of it for not only Twitch but YouTube. Corporate videos, like a whole bunch of stuff. It's basically yours. You can do whatever you want with it. So
that's good for you though, because you have kind of like a, I don't know, it's like a little radio show you got going. Just you just add your own every once in a while you add your own video to it with playing NHL. But that's good for you because you seem like a radio guy that has like a fun radio personality. So to have those little,
I'm still living in the 90s, bro, is what it is. I think this whole thing is still 1995. Like, this is how we did things.
That's the radio I grew up listening to, so that's always been my favorite. Like, we'll be right back with Weasel 95.4.
DJ Trubeleafer. You're just like, what?
Right.
So did you ever have, you might actually know what I'm talking about. This is crazy. I want to see if you know. You might be a little young. The Edge radio station. Do you remember a radio station called The Edge?
What did they play?
It was a rock station, and I say this, you would say, well, Ryan, like, you live in a completely different part of the planet than me. How would I know your stupid radio stations back in the day? Because we're close enough that my Edge was 102.1 The Edge in Toronto. But if on certain clear nights or whatever it was, you could get through further, we would get 103.3 Edge or something like that from Buffalo State or New York State or something like that. Sorry.
Yeah, well, it probably came out of Buffalo because that's where a lot of the bigger broadcasts came from, and so me in Rochester, I would get that as well. So yeah, I think I remember that. I listened to rock music since before I could speak English.
Yeah.
So that's probably one that I grew up listening to.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're right on the cusp of like really the internet completely taking over for music and stuff. So I would not be surprised if you didn't really hear much radio stations that you would be able to distinctively remember. And for folks watching at home, I mean, that's honestly how fast it happened. People don't realize, man, it was like from the time that I had my first computer with the internet to the time that we were all like being able to have Facebook was like, I don't know, maybe 6 years.
Yeah.
Like it was not long.
Crazy.
And then Facebook hits, and then like it's stuff like that, Google and all that, and it's like the internet game changed for life. Here we are.
Right. Yeah. My generation's weird because I grew up with enough time to still be a kid.
Yeah.
And like, oh my god, I'm so bad at hockey.
No, don't worry.
I keep trying to go back, and it's pulling me left every time.
Oh, I wouldn't even know where to start. It'd be 15-0 right now.
But I was gonna say, like, my generation is the one that like I grew up like I basically didn't have what is now known as the internet.
Oh, I missed that. I know. You didn't have the like what's now known as it.
Yeah, right. So like around like 2007, I would say, is when like the real like internet started coming around.
Yeah,
and so I still had enough time to like be a little kid and like go outside and not know what like somebody in like Canada was doing. You know what I mean?
Right, right,
like,
exactly.
And like all of the music that I listened to was on a CD player and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, it's crazy. Like, right, pretty much at the end of middle school, beginning of high school for me was when everything just kind of changed. And now you look at, like, how society is, like, wrapped itself around the internet and social media and stuff like that. Yeah. It's like, I'm so happy that I, like, got to enjoy a childhood.
I know, right? Like,
even for you, dude, you have 2 kids. Like, I'm terrified to have a kid and have them have internet access because I'm like, this is a horrible place.
Well, it can be for sure. It's very dangerous. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what keeps me sane? The only thing that keeps me from absolutely freaking out about that idea is I just try to remember how different our childhood was, even though we talk about it like it was this old time and we did things, you know, the old way, and it was outside more and digital this, or wasn't it really a thing? And, you know, like, you look at what we had compared to our grandparents, they were saying the same thing about us.
Absolutely. I think about, dude, I think about the fact that like my grandparent or my grandpa like got drafted and had to go to Germany and like fight Nazis. And like, I'm like, dude, if I ever got drafted, I would literally pee my pants almost immediately upon reading a draft.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so lucky I never had to like go to war and do real people stuff.
I know, right?
I complain sometimes because it's like, oh, I had to get a job. Like,
yeah, because it still sucks, right? We all have our trauma, we all have our like stuff to deal with, but like At the same time, yeah, sometimes you just gotta look and go, I've never been to war. Like, are you kidding me?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
What am I whining about?
Everything's relative. Everything's relative. Pain itself is relative.
I know, but sometimes in order to stop from going crazy, you gotta like really look at the extreme pain out there, and then to be like, okay, I gotta remember like where my place is in this world. Like, it's not perfect, no, but like it's not the worst. And I owe it to those people. I owe it to those people who are going through the worst to make something of myself. Because you think if they had this opportunity to be something in a free country and stuff, that like they wouldn't have taken it, they'd be way further ahead than I am. I squandered it, so I kind of owe it to them, right? I think we all do.
And that's why you started playing hockey on the internet.
Yeah, like I know it's like, oh, that's my going to war. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that like, you know, like they fought after going through what they did. If they came home and they had something as cool as this, and people told them, yeah, you're good, dude. From here on out, like this is all you have to do for life. You think they wouldn't have taken it? They'd be like, yeah, let's do it. Like, so, you know, we all, now maybe it's not this. Some people really don't like video games. So then don't do this. But I think we all kind of got to, for those of us who aren't struggling so bad, we kind of owe it to the people who are to be like, I'm going to follow a dream here. And that could be like inventing the newest automobile or something like that too. It doesn't have to be, you know, what we think is success or anything like that. Like you said before, like just kind of do you.
Well, here's a fun fact about something cool that I did. So I don't think I told you this last time. So I want to be an actor, actually.
Nice, really?
Yeah. So someone quit.
Well, it ain't us.
So I've been doing just kind of like acting on the side, just like finding jobs where I can find jobs, and I did a Discover Card training commercial the other day.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so basically, if you start working for Discover,
I can see your face.
Their corporate. Yeah, well, if you start working in their like corporate offices, you'll have to watch a video where I just royally mess up a team meeting.
Right.
And there's like this girl in a wheelchair who like comes in for the meeting, and I'm the guy who's like running it, and I like don't set it up for her.
Oh, nice.
And I don't like accommodate the room for a wheelchair to like wheel itself in.
You jerk.
So she's like, yeah, dude, it's like stuff that's like so common sense that you would do.
I've seen
like
so many of those videos. I can imagine exactly the kind of thing you did. Don't worry.
Yep. Oh yeah. The job that I'm still working on, my first day, I had to watch over 8 hours of stuff.
Yeah, it's so bad.
And it's such common sense stuff. It's like, you know, don't spit in someone's water. It's like
yeah.
So yeah, that's but you know, just talking about following dreams. Like, oh, all right, well, I did a Discover Card training video. That's what I did the other day.
Yeah, right on, dude. That's awesome. Honestly, like that's how I kind of started out trying to do stuff as well too. Is I was doing background work for movies as my way in. And then I went to film school and stuff too. So like that's where what you're doing right now is like I would have killed to be doing that, and yet I had no idea how to get started, and I let that stop me. You know, so I had to have that drive. You know, and I never did at the time. Oh, I had to go for something crazy. So Ball the Hair said he found his granddad's army records. That's pretty dope. That stuff is crazy.
Yeah, I wish I could find that stuff. I know my grandpa had a Purple Heart, and he had that displayed, so I knew about it. But yeah, I'd love to go back, and even my dad was in the Persian Gulf War. It'd be very interesting to go back and see records on that type of stuff.
Right. You know what though? Like, it's not that I regret the decision or anything like that. But a part of me does kind of wish that I had joined the military when I was 18 and done like at least the bare minimum of whatever the minimum term is, whatever. You know, because I just felt like when I got a little older and I realized that, you know, they would be, a lot of them had different political views than I did. And I was like, but who am I to say that they're not more Canadian than me? They put their butt on the line, man. Like here I am just whining about stuff, but like they fought for it. So don't they get a little bit more say, or at least a little more credibility?
Right.
I'm not. So again, like I'm not saying I would necessarily agree with a veteran just because a veteran is saying it, but I'll at least listen. They deserve that. They deserve to be heard.
Sure.
So that's kind of why I was like, and I like talking about ideas and and not necessarily politics, but just kind of like, I don't know, philosophy. Like it's in like a really poor man's kind of way. I enjoy it, man. Talking about thoughts and stuff. So I felt like
you better score. You have gotten the most penalty shots I've ever seen.
I know, right? I'm as useless as that other guy. What you gonna do? I don't know, man. I'm just gonna go old school and just try and do it right. No, I didn't do it. No, I totally choked. And Sidley in the chat. Yeah, you are. Well, you're the only sub right now, to be honest. Still so new, man. Still new to have all that stuff. But you're not the first one historically. There was an incident. It's documented on one of the videos on YouTube where someone like did the whole gift subscriptions, and like 6 of Bill Murray's voices went off in my ear. It scared the crap out of me for a long time. So that's really they were the first ones officially, but you're holding down the fort now, Sidley, so we appreciate that. When I say we, I mean me. I don't know why I pluralize everything. Balda Hay saying he likes Eastern philosophy. What about you, Alex?
What's
your favorite philosopher? I'm kidding. I don't know any philosophers, dude.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I was gonna try and sound smart, but I don't know.
I don't know either.
I've been out of school for a minute, so let's hold off on our philosophy talk.
Yeah. Well, that's why I say, man. Like, I'm not really into philosophy so much as just like I like figuring out logic. I like learning how people think. I like learning how a program thinks. I like learning how a game thinks. I just like seeing the where these thoughts came from, even like slang and stuff. I love figuring out or finding out where the word kind of started and where it became and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. I'm a nerd for stuff like that.
I'm a big history guy. I like history a lot.
Yeah. All right. Well, you want to do one more, dude? I got one more in me before I should probably get to some of your pro stuff or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, cool, man. This is excellent content. Which good thing I've like bred everybody to like not care about wins on this channel, right? Otherwise, I'd be doomed.
Yeah, we gotta get a goal here.
Peace out, Sidley. So how's the audio working for you right now, Alex? You can hear me okay? Everything's been good so far?
Yeah, every once in a while you'll kind of pop out, but it's not. I can still get the gist of what you're saying.
Well, I got my PlayStation controller running through an aux cord into my computer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because if I use my headphones into the mic, or into the mic spot on here, then like I lose all of the music and chat audio, or music audio and the alert audio from the stream. Right. And if I just use the mic on the controller without anything plugged in, then I lose your audio. I can't hear you through my computer. So it's weird.
Got a big balancing act there.
Yeah, man. Like for those that want to give this a shot, man. Like honestly, it doesn't take a lot of money and it doesn't take a lot of smarts to set up a really good looking and sounding stream. Right? That's the easy part. It just what it is it's tedious, and you have to find all kinds of workarounds because the way the pros do it is not how you'll do it. Let me tell you. What most of the things that you see when you're watching behind the scenes stuff of this streamer or that streamer or whatever, you can't afford none of that. I can't afford it. And yet I like to think that at least on screen here, we're putting up a product that looks pretty comparable to some of these guys. Right, Alex?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, dude, I mean, like, even say you've updated.
Sorry, I thought I lost you there. I was like, oh no.
Oh no, I was listening. You really had me pulled in.
Thanks, Alex. Right?
Yeah, no, I'm just sitting here completely ignoring you. Everything you're saying, I'm just like, what?
Well, see, that's the other thing is that people don't realize that the top streamers, the reason why they're top has nothing to do with the production. It has everything to do with their personalities and their like ability to be on camera. More than anything.
Well, dude, that's what I admire about you is like I feel like you could literally go off on a 10-hour tangent about any. I could say the word turtle, and you could find a way to spin that into like.
Because how do you not get into Ninja Turtles right away? I'm already thinking like.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
You got to start there, turtle power and all that stuff.
Right. Yeah. But that's the thing is like I feel like that'd be the hardest part of doing a stream for me is like what do you freaking talk about, especially if you don't have someone else to talk to.
Yeah. Well, you know what it is like I am talking to you though. Like, that's honestly what it comes down to. Is any of the times I'm on here by myself and I'm just talking to that camera, like, what's cool about doing this more so than like the videos that I do for YouTube is that I literally am talking to you guys because you're in the chat. So I know you're there and I can see your response and I don't feel so alone, right?
Yeah.
Like, no joke, right? Like, it can be pretty intimidating if you're not used to being on a camera, being alone, because then you feel like everything's so fake and phony almost, right?
Right.
Because it kind of is, right? Like, you're putting on some energy at least. You got to be into what you're doing. So what if you're not feeling well that day and you still got to make a video? Like, you do kind of got to fake it a little bit.
Right.
Or at least, like, force it out of you. You can't just let it be natural all the time. But here, it's all natural because I can see Sidley, I can see Baldahay, I can see AKZ, and I'm talking to you. Like, this is crazy that we even got to meet up like this.
Yeah.
Right? To go back to, like, you know, we're talking about the kids again, right? Like, imagine the kids are going to grow up in a generation. They're somewhere down the road. They're going to be going, do you remember when we used to, like, live stream on Twitch? And, like, why weren't we doing the holographic gaming that everyone does now where we're, like, literally in each other's brains? Like, stupid old people, what were we thinking?
Yeah. Dude, that's going to be wild.
Yeah, like,
for sure.
Do you remember the good old days when we just had smartphones and we were just playing apps and stuff? That's what they're going to say. That's what they're going to say, dude. Isn't that scary? But, like, cool at the same time?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's stuff like it's got an ebb and flow to it. It's like, oh, remember the good old days when, like, or, you know, like, remember the days when before we had the internet and we, like, had to, like, you know, everything was way harder, but then you look and it's like me in America right now, I'm dealing with, like, hey, remember the days when, like, people didn't storm the Capitol building?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, dude, growing up is just weird.
It is weird. It is weird. And, like, it's important to remember that, too, because if you remember that, I feel like you're not so judgmental. You just won't be, because it's like, how can I judge these young people? I sound old right now. But how can I judge younger people today for doing the same thing that I did? It just looks different.
Right.
Right? Like, really, rebellion is rebellion. You get to your teenage years, these things happen, right? But it's not about, like, we had it better because of what we had. It's the same as what they have because of, we're all going through the same crap, man. Oh, no.
I'm holding this one.
You got it, man. See, yeah, Baldahay saying, remember the days before robots ruled the world? Like, honestly, one day we're going to be saying stuff like that. You know, maybe not to that extent, man. But we're going to be like, what were computers? That was so stupid. You remember your first computer? Oh, jeez.
Bro, stop. That's my fault. I overcompensated. You ever seen the movie I, Robot?
Yeah, Will Smith?
Yep.
Yeah,
I mean, it's the same thing with this. Yeah, very good movie. It's the same thing with that movie, though. It's like they live in a future where, like, they literally tell you that, you know, like, they built, like, smartphones, they built, like, smart toasters and stuff like that, and then eventually they built, like, AI and all those things, and then all of a sudden, like, robots ruled the world. It's like, hopefully I am cold and dead in the ground before that happens.
Yeah, something, right? What happened? What did I do?
I don't know. I missed it.
Are we able to fight in this? Because I tried to drop the gloves, man, for the chat, and it didn't work. Do you know?
Yeah, you should be able to. I think the other person has to concede with you.
In the threes? I just thought that it would, like, because the penalties are just tripping, I figured they wouldn't let us fight.
No, I think I've seen fights in three. I don't know. That's
right.
That might be a question for the chat.
Yeah, y'all know in the chat, because I tried, Cooks. I tried to drop the gloves, man. I saw that thing go up. I'm trying to get my wife to come down and do one of these with me one time. We'll, like, have her just monitor all the challenges and stuff so that I don't, like, in my idiot, like, ADD type brain, like, forget about all of them. Because I keep doing that. I feel bad for the guys in the chat.
Well, I mean, it's nice you set up all these things because it's real interactive, but then it's like, oh, crap, now I have to do one.
And I know, man, I know there's, like, ways to, like, get moderators to help me out and stuff like that. But honestly, man, like, and I've had offers, like, a lot of you guys have been really, really encouraging and everything like that. But it's more about, I just want to learn how to do it first. So I want to know like all the roles so that later on when I work with people, if it gets that big, and I hope it does, that like I'll know what I'm asking them to do, and I won't sound so unsure of myself, and because it's unfair to ask somebody to do something when you don't even know how to do it. I would never do that.
Right.
If I can't do it, I shouldn't ask you to do it.
Like, hey, can you set up my entire Twitch stream here, and I'll just sit down and play hockey?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, how dare I? You know, I got to at least know what's being done. And the flip side of that is you protect yourself too, because then you know if someone's screwing you over as well.
Yeah, that is very true.
Right? Like if I handed you all the stuff for my video, right? For like an average Be a Pro video, right? The raw camera footage of me, the game footage of the game, and like the raw audio, and said, here, put it together. If it took you less or more than like 3-4 hours, I'd be like, no, you're not good enough. Like practice some more and then come back to me. But like, I can do it in 2, right? So I'm even giving you a bit of leeway by being like, if you can do it in 3 or 4, like that's okay. Because at least I don't have to do it, right? But like, that's where I'm at, where it's like, you know, if I'm going to ask you to do something, if you're going to be a part of this, I know I'm going to have some pretty like strict guidelines, and I don't want to do that to any of you guys yet. Let me learn it first, you know what I mean? Let me go down the path and figure out how to build this thing first, and then I'll gladly bring in other people that want to help out and stuff. Right? Because right now, a lot of you guys, right, you included, Alex, you got a life. You know what I mean? Even if you wanted to help me out right now, like, you got a life, bro. I can't be asking you to, like, get something done at 3, 4 in the morning and then upload it for me. You know what I mean? Like, I can't do that.
Hey, you know what? You pay me the right amount of money, I'll do anything.
Right, man. Pay. See, that's what I'm saying, is that the people that are coming out to me right now are volunteering, right? But I'm like...
Oh, yeah.
Right? And I'm like, I respect that, and I really appreciate that, but, like, I don't want to treat you like a volunteer, because then, like, you won't really learn anything, and I don't want to treat you like an employee, because I can't pay you. So...
yeah.
So it's unfair to me to, like, demand an employee-type relationship.
Right.
But no, but it's been cool, man. It's been cool learning it all, the little customizations, and you know, like I said,
well, I was saying earlier, even since I played with you before Christmas, back in the old 2020, your setup looks a lot better, like a lot cleaner now. Like just your whole background and everything. You have different interfaces now too.
Thanks, man. I'm trying.
You're definitely, you've picked it up considerably since the last time we played, and even then I was like, oh wow, this guy's like a streamer.
I fooled everybody off the get-go, man. That's all my film background. So, like, to go back to what you were saying about acting, right? Like, when I started thinking, oh yeah, you know what? I won't be able to go the Hollywood route. Like, they don't want me, you know what I mean? Like, I try to do it the conventional way, and I keep, like, finding dead ends, like... They must not want me. I must have to find my own way. So then I went to film school so that I could just learn how to make my own. Because if I'm like, if I can't be in your movie, I'll make my own. And so I learned a lot of that stuff. Again, never did anything with that though, because then it's like, well, where do you get the money to make a movie? I don't know how to do that. I guess I'm out. You know? Oh, nice. We got one. Hey, there we go. We're coming back.
There's our one goal.
We're coming back. I feel it. But yeah, so then I learned how to do all that stuff, and again, just chucked those skills away, went back to working regular jobs again, because it was expensive. I had to pay for that school, right?
Yeah.
And but now, like, to try and do this whole streaming thing, I've been watching a few gamers like the past few years and stuff like that. You know, oh man. You know what? I'm gonna have to try putting, because we do have somebody up front covering the net there. So I guess I should go in the corner and battle. It's just I'm so used to playing with like bot players. I don't trust anybody in front of the net.
Yeah, you can't trust them to really do too much.
You know, and I don't mean disrespect to this person here on our screens, but like maybe I have to go in the corner then and force them to make a bad pass.
Right.
Because we can't both cover the guy in front.
Baldeas says he volunteered for a charity for a year or so, and his boss paid him with cigarettes.
Hey man, that could be an expensive habit, and if like you got someone willing to give them to you for free, and you know you're helping out a charity, hey, that's not a bad trade-off, you know?
I mean, that's how they do it in prison.
Well, there you go. Oh, dude, when I worked at a restaurant, and I worked at a few restaurants, so that's why I can say this, because you don't know which one I'm going to talk about here. But I've worked for a few restaurant chains, and one of the ones I worked at, I would do things like, oh, if it was a slow night, you know, sometimes a summer weekdays, just you're not making money, man. So it's like, you know, they're looking to cut servers, send them home. And if I was going home, but I still wanted to hang out for a bit, I would say to the manager, like, tell you what, how about I shut down your patio tonight and you just pay me two 34-ounce pints, the really big mugs. Right? Like, I'll work off the clock. And when I'm done, I want 2 of those on the table for me. And he'd be like, done deal. Because to him, the cost of the beer was far less than he would have to pay me to work, right?
Oh, yeah. And I mean, like, it's free beer is nothing.
And yet, if I were to pay full price, because they can't discount booze for staff, so they can't ring it in officially like that, right? It's the money I would have made hourly to work those 2 hours was not even as much to cover the 2 huge beers I had. So it works out for me because I'm paying less for the beer. It also works out for him because unofficially he's paying less for the beer because he just spills it, right? He just says, nah,
right.
That fell on the floor. That, you know, because that stuff does happen, so you need a way to ring it in. And that's what you do, right? You just spill those. So I'm probably telling you guys all kinds of illegal secrets, but if you all look into it, you can find out this stuff. And also, I could just be lying to make up a good story. That's the beauty about being in entertainment. You can't hold me responsible for anything I say. This could all be a lie, and you can't prove me wrong. Because if anyone ever said, yo, but you lied on a stream? Yeah, I did. Is that a crime? I felt the stream was going dull, and I just started rambling about what I would do to give away free drinks. You know, I just made that up. Like...
there was, right when I first turned 21, I went out to this one bar with my one of my buddies a lot. And
oh, I didn't know how to get to it, man. I'm sorry. I could see it. I was trying to help.
No, it's okay. I think he waved it off. No, he didn't. He should have.
Yeah.
I got interfered with, so that sucks.
Oh, I interfered with you.
I don't know. Oh, that's why. Because you're the one who bumped me.
Well,
your jersey, I couldn't tell if it was white or not.
I know,
so I'm
right?
like, wait a minute. One of their guys hit me. Why is that not goalie interference?
Yeah, it's such a stupid color. I'm realizing this, man. I'm like, why isn't it like white? But it's a stupid NHL 94 thing. I gotta switch that.
No, I mean, it's a nice looking jersey. It just doesn't really make any sense that it's the away.
Yeah, I know. Well, because the dark is like a dark navy or something like that, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But,
well, anyway, so my buddy and I would go to this one bar, and because we tipped well the first few times we went, the waitresses, or not the waitresses, the bartenders would give us free drinks, and we went in just kind of expecting free drinks like every time we went in, and after about a month and a half, they told us that they couldn't give us free drinks anymore because they found out, the manager found out about it and was pissed.
Oh yeah.
They were like, you can't keep doing that. So they were like, you have to pay. And we were like, what do you mean we have to pay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, we don't do this here.
Well, you know, the untold truth, right, is that every good liquor serving establishment, you know, you always find a few. You always find a few that get an extra special place in your heart because they know know that having them in your building brings out the good in people around them. They'll start having conversations about the sports game that's on or whatever, and you're just like, that guy helped me distract 3 customers that waited an hour for nachos when they take 15 minutes to make. You know, that's how far behind we are, and just by having this guy in the bar, those people aren't mad. They haven't even noticed or cared. Right? So
that's crazy. I never thought about it.
Yeah. Oh, dude, serving is very much like a big show, right? So that's why the acting thing, you see a lot of actors get into it because it's like, you know, if I can control the situation and kind of throw up the illusion of you're having a great time, we've got you. And I don't mean that in a criminal, screwing you over kind of way. I mean, you'll have a good time. No, you really will. Yeah. And if you have a good time, you'll come back. Nobody, if you have a good server, right? And not everybody is, but honestly, most of them at least do this. They at least treat you like themselves. You might disagree with how that should be handled, but most of them will at least do for you what they would want done because they want you to have a good time, right? So when your food's late and stuff like that, we're in the back yelling at the kitchen. They're like, are you kidding me? They have to wait this long? That's ridiculous, right? And then they're yelling back, yeah, but we just bailed you out on that steak you didn't ring in for 40 minutes. And you're like, yeah, that's true. Shut up.
Yeah.
You cover each other, right? Because mistakes are going to happen. But but nobody's fighting harder for the guest than the server in a building.
Right.
And it's because of that tip.
Yeah, I was gonna say it all boils down to like how you're gonna get treated by the customer at the end of it. So.
Yeah. But some people, see, that's the thing though, is that when you get managers that are total posers, right, that don't actually get what they're doing, they will train up servers to raise a bill as high as possible all the time. Never not ask, because you'll have more people that say yes in the long run. And that's true, right? In the short term, you will get larger average bills, which means you will get a higher percentage on your tips, right? Or not higher percentage, just a higher amount of money, because if they pay 10% on $50 as opposed to 10% on 100, you're making more money, right?
Right.
But they don't get it, because what they don't realize is you got to think long term with these people. Create an atmosphere that people want to be in, and they'll come back 40 more times this year, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Make them feel ripped off. That's the last time you're ever going to see them, right?
Yeah, it's not really a case of any publicity is good publicity when you're dealing with people. It's like...
No. You don't want a bad reputation as a restaurant, because you don't have a lot of leeway. You don't get very long before a bad reputation will put you out of business.
Right.
So, yeah, man, like, it's fun, but it's a total show. I once, there's a couple out there, right, where the girl worked with me, and the man that she's married to is they met because he was sitting at my bar after a lunch rush. She was she was my partner for the lunch rush, right? I was the opener, which means I have to set everything up for the day, and I just get basically a partner to come in and help me through the busiest period, right? So that was this girl. And if anybody knows anything about how, you know, male beer drinkers work, it was a partnership. I send her to talk to all the tables, and I work my butt off making sure she doesn't have to work too hard, right?
There you go.
In terms of like pouring drinks and getting things out to the tables and stuff. That's how the partnership goes, right? You split the tips. She was done early, sits down at the bar to have a drink right beside this dude. And I was behind now because they shouldn't have cut her. They were trying to save money, right? So I'm like going crazy on my own. And I see him talking to her, or see her talking to him. And his sandwich is going to be like an extra 10 minutes, right? And I'm just like, I'm already talking to the guy because I'm his server. So like we got a little bit of a relationship going on. We're talking about the game that happened the night before. And I was like, right, so-and-so? And I point to the girl, and she's like, totally, and starts like vibing in because she's a sports fan. Before you know it, the two of them are talking. He doesn't care that his sandwich is taking long. And it turns out that's where he met his wife. Like, you're kidding me? What a story, right? Like, I just needed 10 more minutes for a sandwich.
Like, what sandwich?
Yeah, he met his wife. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a lot of fun being in the restaurant game for sure, because it's very much like acting. It's very much like almost theater more than acting, right? You're trying to create a whole show, a whole thing that you'll remember. It's way more than just saying you want more gravy with that. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Gratsky's in the house. What's up? Yeah, Balda Hay saying the guy went to buy a sandwich, found a wife. Exactly. Like, that's how quickly it can happen, though. All right, I gotta get going, brother. Like, I should probably get out of this. I got some Be a Pro stuff to get to before the night's done. But that was a blast, man. Yeah. Everybody,
good to play with you.
Say hello to Alex in the chat here, man. What a dude for coming out, playing. Give him some GGs. Give him some love. All right, bro. I'll be seeing you though. All right, you know that.
Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna hop on the stream, watch it for a little bit, and then head off to bed. I gotta work all day tomorrow. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate it, brother. All right. Peace.
All right, bro. See ya.
There we go, guys. There we go. How about that, eh? It was nice chilling with Alex. I like that. Again, I don't know where the other dudes were, right? Alex didn't have to be the first one through, but he was the only one man enough to step up, right? And I don't mean compete. We don't have to compete. As you saw, me and Alex were just playing on the same team, right? But it takes some guts to come out here, right? We were not doing too well. And it takes guts to do that online publicly and just like deal with the repercussions. But again, luckily for me, you guys don't really have repercussions. Luckily for me, you guys are always so chill in the chat, no matter who's on and no matter how badly we're doing. So that's good because it means you're getting the real experience. That's what me and Alex are about. All right, just like the old days, man. You'd be hanging out in someone's basement playing video games. It's just we're in different places. That's all. All right. And for everyone in the chat, I know I can't hear your voices, you know, but to me, that's what this is. All right? You're just hanging out. So thank you. Thank you again. I appreciate that, Alex. Hi kids, do you like Primus? Nah, I'm kidding. But seriously though, make sure you subscribe to the channel. It's going to be a wild Leaf season, and you don't want to miss any of the action with us, because we're going for that 1,000 sub marker. I'm not stopping till I get there. Or maybe I will. Bye!